Commanders fans, I need y'all to really lock in for this one. Because what I'm about to break down is going to shake up everything you thought you knew about this season. We've got an NFL legend dropping some hard truths about our franchise quarterback. We've got the front office betting on a player everyone else gave up on. And we've got the team lining up to possibly land a defensive beast who could change the future of this franchise. You ready? Because after 4 straight losses, this news might just define the future of the burgundy and gold. Don't go anywhere. Look, I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear this. I know it stings. But when Kurt Warner, a guy who went from bagging groceries to winning a Super Bowl and getting a gold jacket, when that guy breaks down your tape and says what he said about Jayden Daniels, you better pay attention. Warner didn't sugarcoat it. He watched the film, play by play, and came to a brutal conclusion. Jayden Daniels isn't seeing the field the way he did last year. And I'm telling you, when a quarterback of Warner's caliber says that, it's not some hot take from a barstool. It's a professional diagnosis from someone who's lived it. And you know what's even worse? Warner's right. Daniels is holding onto the ball too long. He's locking in on his first read, and when that's not there, instead of working through his progressions like he did as a rookie, he's either tucking and running or forcing throws he has no business making. It's like he forgot what made him special. Now let me ask you this, is it all on Jayden? Absolutely not. And Warner said that too. Defenses have a full year of tape on him now. They know how to scheme him, they know his habits, they know what Cliff Kingsbury wants to do. But here's the thing, the difference between a good quarterback and a great one is how you adjust when the defense changes the script. And let's be real, Daniels hasn't exactly had the best setup this year. Terry McLaurin's been banged up. Noah Brown's out. Luke McCaffrey broke his collarbone on the opening kickoff against Seattle. The O-line's been shaky. The run game's been flat. It's like asking a chef to cook a 5-star meal with gas station ingredients. But here's what really worries me. Daniels dislocated his elbow against the Seahawks, and Dan Quinn straight up admitted it was his mistake to leave him in the game too long. Do y'all realize what that means? Our head coach is so desperate for a win, he's risking the health of our franchise quarterback in a season that's already toast. I think the front office has a tough call to make. If Daniels doesn't go on injured reserve, if the extra tests say he can come back, should we even let him? For what? To go 6-11 instead of 4-13? This season's done, folks. For straight LS, injuries everywhere, a brutal schedule ahead. Warner brought up something huge in his breakdown. The sophomore slump is real. It's not a myth. It's not an excuse. It's a documented thing. Second-year quarterbacks struggle because defenses have enough tape to exploit them. And when your offense is wrecked by injuries and your line can't protect you, that slump turns into a full-on collapse. And you know what bugs me the most? Some fans are already calling Daniels a bust. Y'all are out of your minds. This dude had one of the best rookie seasons by a quarterback in franchise history. Did you already forget the Hail Mary against Chicago? Did you forget how he dragged us into the playoffs for the first time in years? But I'll say this too, if Daniels doesn't start working through his reads, if he doesn't improve his field vision, if he keeps holding the ball too long, then it won't matter how talented he is. In this league, you either adapt or you get left behind. And right now, with this injury, with Warner's analysis, with this season in the gutter, Daniels is at a career crossroads. So here's my question to you. Do you believe Jayden Daniels can bounce back to his rookie form? Or is what we're seeing this year closer to his actual ceiling? If that caught you off guard, just wait, because now we're talking second chances and how Adam Peters is playing chess while everyone else is stuck on checkers. Trayon Burks. That name might not mean much to most of y'all. First-round pick in the 2022 draft by the Tennessee Titans. Number 18 overall. A wide receiver with the size, speed, and explosiveness to be a star in this league. And yet, after 3 years in Tennessee, the guy was basically forgotten, buried on the Commanders' practice squad. But here's where it gets interesting. After Luke McCaffrey broke his collarbone on the opening kickoff against Seattle, after Marshawn Lattimore tore his ACL, after McLaurin and Brown were already out, Adam Peters did something most GMs wouldn't. Instead of signing some washed-up vet, instead of going the safe route, Peters elevated Burks from the practice squad to the active roster. And you know what? I love this move. Why? Because it shows Peters is thinking long-term even in the middle of a lost season. He knows this year's a wrap. 4 straight losses, brutal injuries, killer schedule. We're not making the playoffs. So why not use these last few games to evaluate young talent? Now let me ask you this. What went wrong for Burks in Tennessee? Because the talent is there. Nobody questions his physical tools. But between the injuries and a bad scheme fit, the guy never took off. It's like buying a Ferrari and only using it to drive to the corner store. Just a total waste of potential. And here's what's got me hyped about this. Burks already got a taste of action against Seattle. And apparently, the coaching staff saw enough to bump him up right away. That tells me he showed something in practice, something in that limited game time, that made Peters and Quinn say, hold up, we might have something here. Look at our receiver depth chart right now. McLaurin's out until after the bye. Brown? Who knows if we'll see him again this year. McCaffrey's on IR. We're rolling with Burks, Deebo Samuel Sr., Chris Moore, and fourth-round rookie Jalen Lane. That's rough, y'all. But it's also an opportunity. I think Burks has the next 6 or 7 weeks to prove he belongs here long-term. And let's be real, he's not going to have Jayden Daniels throwing him the ball. It's going to be Marcus Mariota or whoever else lines up under center. So the difficulty level? High. But here's the thing, if Burks can produce even with a backup QB, even in a broken offense, even without the other weapons to draw coverage, then Peters might have struck gold. He might have salvaged a first-round pick that everyone else wrote off and turned him into a legit piece for the future. And you know what else I love about this? Peters isn't clinging to overpriced vets. He's not trying to save this season with desperate moves. He's building for 2026 and beyond. He's evaluating every young piece on this roster to see who stays and who goes. Cliff Kingsbury's got a massive challenge here. He's got to find ways to get the most out of Burks without Daniels, without McLaurin, without a consistent run game. But if there's one offensive coordinator who can make an athletic receiver shine in tough spots, it's Kingsbury. The guy made Christian Kirk look like a Pro Bowler in Arizona. So here's my question. Do you think Trayon Burks can revive his career in Washington? Or is he just another first-round flameout who never lives up to the hype? But none of that compares to what's next, because now we're talking about the 2026 draft and how this lost season might actually be the best thing to happen to this franchise. Ruben Bane Jr., remember that name, because if things keep trending the way they are, that dude could be rocking burgundy and gold next year. And when I say this edge rusher from Miami could transform our defense, I'm not exaggerating one bit. CBS Sports has the Commanders taking Bane with the number 9 pick in their latest mock draft. And I'm telling you right now, if we land a top 10 pick, Bane has to be the choice. No debate. No hesitation. This guy is exactly what we need. And here's why. Our pass rush has been non-existent this year. After we let Chase Young walk, after we traded Montez Sweat, we never replaced that production. And in today's NFL, if you can't pressure the quarterback, you can't win. Period. Ryan Wilson from CBS described Bane perfectly. He's explosive, violent, with rare power and bend. The guy can bend the edge from wide alignments, convert speed to power, and has a deep bag of pass rush moves. Bull rushes, inside counters, elite hand usage. He's like a cheat code. But here's what really fires me up. Bane isn't just a pass rusher. He's a problem in the run game too. He sets a strong edge, sheds blocks, makes plays from whistle to whistle. In a division where we face Saquon Barkley twice a year, where the Cowboys have a solid backfield, where the Giants are rebuilding their O-line, we need someone who can stop the run and get after the QB. Now let me ask you this, is it worth losing games this year to land a pick that high? Because let's be honest, if we finish 4-13 or 5-12, we're in range to draft a game changer. And Bane could be exactly that. Look at the players projected ahead of Bane in that mock draft. Fernando Mendoza from Indiana, Ty Simpson from Alabama, Dante Moore from Oregon, all quarterbacks. Spencer Fano from Utah, an offensive lineman. Carnell Tate from Ohio State, a wide receiver. Arvell Reese from Ohio State, a linebacker. Peter Woods from Clemson, a D lineman. Caleb Downs from Ohio State, a DB. Those are good players. But none of them bring the immediate impact Bane could bring to our defense. None of them fill a need as urgent as edge rusher. And none of them have the explosive upside Bane brings to the table. I think Adam Peters sees this too. The guy's no fool. He knows this season's a wash. He knows we need to inject youth and talent into this defense. And he knows a top 10 pick could be the launchpad to get us back to relevance in 2026. And you know what else I love about this? Bane fits perfectly with what Dan Quinn wants to do on defense. Quinn loves versatile edge rushers who can play in multiple fronts. He developed Micah Parsons in Dallas, helped maximize DeMarcus Lawrence, worked with some of the best pass rushers in the league during his time with the Cowboys. Picture this, Bane on one side, maybe we bring in another edge rusher in free agency, Jonathan Allen inside, Darren Payne next to him. That D-line could be dominant. The kind of unit that flips games, wins on fourth down, gives opposing quarterbacks nightmares. But here's the catch, to get Bane, we probably need to keep losing. And I know that's tough for a lot of fans to accept. Nobody wants to see their team tank. But when you look at the big picture, when you realize this season's already over, when you see how injuries have wrecked us, the decision becomes clearer. So here's my question. Would you rather win a few meaningless games and end up with the 15th or 16th pick? Or would you rather lock in a top 10 pick and draft a generational talent like Ruben Bane Jr.? So there you have it, Commanders fans. 3 stories that define exactly where we are as a franchise. Kurt Warner dropping uncomfortable truths about Jayden Daniels. Adam Peters betting on Trayon Burks as a reclamation project. And the bright future that could be Ruben Bane Jr. in burgundy and gold. This season hurts. I get it. For straight losses, brutal injuries, a franchise QB getting called out by a Hall of Famer. But I'll say this, the best franchises are the ones that learn from the tough years, that use adversity as fuel, that build something special from the ashes. Is Jayden Daniels still the quarterback of the future, or does he need a full year to reset? Can Trayon Burks revive his career in Washington? Should we tank for Ruben Bane Jr.? I want to hear from y'all. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you agree with Warner or think he's off base. Tell me if you trust Peters with these roster moves. Tell me if you're ready to embrace a lost season for a better future. And if you like this breakdown, if you want more deep dive Commanders content, if you want to be part of a community that lives and breathes burgundy and gold, then do me a favor. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell. Because I promise you, we've got more news, more analysis, more content coming tomorrow that you won't want to miss. We're a family here. A family that's suffered together, celebrated together, and is gonna rebuild together. And I need y'all to be part of it. I need your voices, your takes, your passion. Because that's what makes this community special. And remember, hail to the Redskins!